Welcome back everyone, Mariah Monetize here. In today's video, we are going over the price of Bitcoin after the interest rate hike announcement. So I really haven't even looked at the charts yet today, so we're looking at them for the first time together. So they've raised interest rates by 75 basis points. We've seen, I guess you could say, some volatility in the market, so things kind of sort of stayed the same around the announcement. Nothing too crazy, but now we're seeing a little bit of a dip here on the price of Bitcoin. We're going to go ahead and start on the 7-day chart, and then we are going to zoom in on the lower level time frames. So with like the price action today, we've kind of seen the green moving average flatten out a little bit. When that green crosses over the red, history has told us that it is time to get in on a Bitcoin, okay? When you look at the green crossing over the red and crossing below, crossing over to get in and crossing below to get out, it's been right in basically every single time in Bitcoin's history except twice. And if you traded it from the very beginning of time, and if you bought, like, I think Bitcoin hit like $100, that was like its first big run. And if you basically bought at the top, like Bitcoin's first big top, which was technically terrible timing, you still would have traded from like 100 to 300 Bitcoin. So it's not a bad thing to pay attention to. So also on the 7-day, we have the green over, the green 2 trading above the green 1, which is bullish, but we're seeing resistance at that $21,000 mark, as well as at 100 DMA. Bitcoin's having a really tough time getting over that 100 DMA. Let's take a look here at the daily chart. So we're seeing a bit of a pullback here. Bitcoin needs to hold the low of this candle, which is 18,659. It has quite a bit of wiggle room. It has made a higher high on the daily, so I could see like a little bit of a pullback here, and then maybe it tries again on the daily chart to get over that 100 DMA. So next week we have the CPI data release information. Let's take a look here at the 12-hour chart. 12-hour chart is holding the low. So the low here is 20,000, 20,000 even. So that's pretty critical for Bitcoin here on the 12-hour chart to hold $20,000. If it breaks below that on the 12-hour, it's making a lower low. So keeping kind of a close eye there. This right here is a 4-hour chart trending downwards, not really looking all that great. I would not be interested in touching Bitcoin at these levels, especially on the hourly. It's just made a lower low. So the hourly is leaning bearish, so not really interested. So what I said in my previous videos was that 7-day chart is looking pretty darn primed. I mean, with that green 2 trading above the green 1, it looked interesting. Like, I could be wrong. The bottom could be in, but I was not willing to chase Bitcoin. I wanted further confirmation above $21,000, and I am tremendously grateful that I was patient on that situation, because I would have been chasing Bitcoin and now in a losing position with many time frames looking quite bearish. So glad that I stayed patient there. I mean, getting in and out of positions, wow, the patience. Patience is key. 30-minute chart also looking bearish, nothing really that exciting here. Let's take a look here at the 5-minute. 5-minute might be picking up a little bit of steam here. Made a higher high on the 5-minute. So curious to see what it does in the next couple of hours. So Ethereum, like I said, got to keep an eye on Ethereum. And why is that? Ethereum typically leads the way. So I want to see what Ethereum's doing. And I say that because, like, what actually is making me feel more bullish on the Bitcoin chart is actually how the Ethereum chart is looking. Because, as we see here, and I should probably dive a little bit deeper on bottoms of markets and Ethereum and its behaviors to see if it kind of led the way, to give us more clues and confirmation. So this right here is a 7-day, the green 2 trading above the green 1. We have the green moving average. So if you guys want to put this on your chart right here, this is an EMA. It's a 5. The green is a 5 and the red is a 12. And, Ethereum pretty much does the same thing on the crossovers, getting in and out. And so it's getting really close, and it is closer than Bitcoin's. Take a look here at the daily chart. Daily chart's looking similar to Bitcoin. It's having that pullback. But when it comes to Bitcoin's daily, so Bitcoin's having a tough time getting over the 100 DMA, but Ethereum is having a tough time getting over the 200 DMA. So those are like the two different situations there. This is the 12-hour chart on Ethereum, which is looking similar to Bitcoin. It needs to hold a low of this candle, which is 1479. The 4-hour chart looking very similar to Bitcoin's. So yeah, hourly also looking bearish and similar to Bitcoin's. So talked a little bit about Core Scientific. Looks like it was a new all-time low today. It looks like it closed about 6% down at 16 cents. Gold sitting at $16.32. Coinbase stock down on the day, sitting at $60.71. So we're seeing momentum to the downside, which could just be massive buying opportunities. Maybe we're getting closer to the bottom. Time will tell. I'm staying patient. So main thing that I'm doing, I'm keeping a close eye on the weekly chart. I'm keeping a close eye on Ethereum to see if it's gonna kind of lead the way here. Let's take a look here. Tesla, 214.98. So things started dumping towards the end of the day. So let's really take a quick look here at SPY. SPY closed around 374. Let's take a look at that daily candle. Definitely a pullback here, but looking very similar on the daily to Bitcoin's chart, actually. Let's see here. You know, marijuana stocks, you got to keep an eye on marijuana stocks because I think there's going to be massive buying opportunity. We did see a bit of a pullback here on Tilray today, but Tilray is making some moves, okay? And let's see over here. This is a daily chart. So this is September 26th is when that bottom came in. And hey, it is up about 60% from there. So, marijuana stocks, I think we got to keep an eye on them because they are just down in the dumps. And whoa, the buying opportunity of a lifetime really could be there. And so I'm just kind of keeping a close eye because it seems like all markets are kind of like trending downwards together. So just staying patient. So I want to go over back to Bitcoin when the interest rate announcement was made. So not only does the market react, I mean, honestly, I don't even have to know that this right here is when it, that's the, I think it was 11 and I think it's a 2 o'clock. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just obvious when you look at the chart on the 5-minute chart from today. Oh, yep, that must have been when it happened. So what happens during these meetings, if you've never really watched one, is that the announcement comes, and then a few minutes later, Powell comes out to speak, and then so he kind of like gives a statement, and then he takes questions from press. And so sometimes, depending on what he says or how he answers specific questions, it affects the market. So you can see like this right here is Bitcoin's 5-minute. And it had quite a bit of volatility on the 5 minutes. So a low of 20,139 and a high of 20,746. And then you could see here, this was a little bit later. Bitcoin was down just above $20,000. And yeah, so kind of after the trading hours were over, then we've kind of seen a little bit of sideways and things definitely cooled down a bit. So like I said, I'm staying super patient. We have elections, right? Midterm elections. We have inflation numbers coming out next week. So, I mean, another thing we must take into consideration is, I mean, when you look back at a lot of the CPI data release dates, Bitcoin didn't really do all that great after them in most cases. And they're typically a high volatility day, which is tricky to trade, and I really wouldn't be that interested in trading it. But for example, like this one right here, that particular day had a low of 19,855 and a high of 22,800. So a lot of volatility on that day. Decent volatility also on this one. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. It's pretty much all that I have for you today. If you want to get started with iTrust Capital, $100 into Bitcoin for free. If you get started, you can even transfer your existing IRA over to iTrust, and you can purchase Bitcoin, Ethereum, other cryptocurrencies, also precious metals. This is the coolest thing. So the issues with like buying and selling Bitcoin is taxes, right? Oh my gosh, it's like a nightmare. It's a headache. Imagine being able to trade and it not being a taxable event. That's what you could do within your iTrust Capital account. And you're only paying a 1% trading fee, and you're not dealing with the tax headaches. Because like people sometimes they don't even include the tax obligations when they're trading, which gets them into a huge disaster. So I highly recommend you check out iTrust Capital. I have a link down below for them. So that's all that I have for you today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, an amazing day tomorrow. As always, go out there and create a portfolio that you love.